Hey everybody, Chuck Barone here. It is Friday, October the 13th, 2023. Friday the 13th, and a crazy freaking day in finance in the world. Man, guys, we got a lot to talk about today. Crazy times we're living in, man. I look at this and I just shake my head. Before I get rambling, let me take a half a second and welcome everybody to the show. And as always, thank you guys for your support. It means the world to us. You guys keep coming back watching these videos. We appreciate your support. We do. All right, so let's talk about these markets today. Not much data today. Very weak consumer sentiment. Companies coming out with good earnings. This war, though, now this whole war thing started to make the whole market freak out a little bit. Wondering what's next. You got big issues with the federal government, its deficit, the bond market, everything all upside down and spun around. So the markets today behaving like they're confused because, hell, who isn't right now? So the stock markets today just looking very strange, right? So you have the Dow actually gaining 39 points today, sitting at 33,670. Now this is the narrowest measure, right? You got the NASDAQ down 166 points today, 13,407. That's a much broader, a little more speculative part of the market. Then you have the S&P, the broadest market, down 21 points today, 4,327. So you got a confused stock market looking at like, oh boy, look at what the stock market's trying to digest today. You have hugely weak consumer sentiment coming out of consumers feeling very negative about their personal finances, the economy, the future, just everything down for consumers. At the same time, you got hugely good earnings, companies coming in with great earnings, even banks, right? Then you add in the geopolitical tension. You know, who knows what's going to happen next with this Middle East thing, man. As bad as it was with just Ukraine, now you have Israel in a war with another Arab state. And, you know, that always makes, the outcome of those always has a surprise to it somewhere. So we'll see where this one goes. The bond market today, I guess, rallying, figuring that somehow or another, again, coming to the conclusion that these rate hikes are over. I think everybody kind of feeling the economic pressure here, even though some economic data coming in strong. If consumers throw in the towel, man, that's the end of the fight, right? So the bond market actually rallies today as, you know, bond investors looking for a top here. So the bond market rallies, the 10-year down 8 basis points. Now remember, yields come down when prices go up, right? So the 10-year down 8 basis points, sitting at 4.63%. The 2-year just drops 1 basis point, sitting at 5.05%. So it widens that spread between the inversion there, but still pretty high numbers. I think you're going to see a 5% 10-year before it's over. You know, the moods change, but the facts remain the same, right? Inflation is not where the Fed wants it. It's pretty much twice where they want it. The numbers are moving in the wrong direction right now. Inflation actually not coming down toward their target, going up or staying high at the same levels. So, I don't know. I think these markets are just crazy, and the next little bit of data are going to reverse all of this. So, hard to figure the play in this market, man. The dollar today up very small, just fraction, sitting at 106.68 on the index, still strong, super strong actually. Right now the dollar, of all the world currencies, probably the strongest. You know, China, as I mentioned on the show yesterday, instituting capital controls now, no more moving money out of China, only going to make the dollar stronger over time. Metals today, wow, what a day for gold, man, wow. So I guess investors, you know, when these wars break out, investors look for safe havens for their money, and gold is the #1 safe haven for money. So gold jetting today up $60.30, a great day for gold, sitting at $1,928.80. Silver up 84 cents today, $22.66, so a great day for gold and silver. Gold really rocketing, man. Nice. We'll see if they can hold these numbers now. The trend had been going down. Now we'll see safe haven ideas. When people have fear, they turn to gold. And if you don't have fear right now, you're not thinking very deep, right? War, Middle East, oil up gigantic today, up $4.84, sitting at $87.75 for a barrel of West Texas Intermediate. There goes my hope for falling gas prices, man. I'm sick of paying $5.50 a gallon. With oil had been coming down. Now, of course, they start a little bit of war up over there, even though, Hamas and Israel are not oil producers. You got Iran in there and a couple other Middle Eastern countries. Now everybody's wondering what the heck's going to happen. A lot of peace treaties have been being talked about in the Middle East. Saudis and Israel. There was all kind of things going on over there. Now all of that gets junked. And we go right back to where we were 50 years ago in the same stuff. Bitcoin today up very small, up $36, sitting at $26,760. All bad news lately for cryptos with Freed's trial going on. So Bitcoin hanging in there, man, nicely. All right, so let's talk a little bit about news you guys need here today, guys. Signs of trouble just popping up, showing everywhere, man. You look at the wall or the dam, and the poor Dutch boy got his finger in a whole bunch of holes in the dike, man. It's just, I'm looking at this, I'm just wondering, what in the hell is it going to take? What will finally be the straw that breaks the camel's back, man? And if you look at all the stuff going on, right? Now, you know me, guys, I hate to be Charlie Negative. And I always make fun of the persistent doomsayers who every day is the end of the world. But I got to say, man, things are starting to look pretty bleak here. Okay? You look at the totality of everything, right? You got wars in two big hot spots now. And these wars, Ukraine, we're already up to over $100 billion. Now our friends Israel are in a war. They're coming to us for money. Where are we going to find this money, man? Now, let me tell you this. If I'm China and I'm watching the world here, and if I was really serious about taking Taiwan by force, and I was prepared to do that, whatever the cost, what could be a better time than right now? You got their biggest adversary, the U.S., reeling, weak in position militarily now because we're sending all of our hardware and all of our stuff to Ukraine to fight. Now we're going to be we're going to be involved in this Israeli war. So if I'm China, I'm like, there's never going to be a better time. Does the U.S. really want to be financing or involved in 3 different wars? 3 big ones? I don't know, man. So this is just kind of crazy, right? I think that, like I said, if I'm China and if they're really serious, now, that's the big question. Are they? Are they willing to destroy Taiwan and everything they've built there to take it back? That's the question. But if they're serious about it, there would really be very little the U.S. could do other than getting into an outright shooting war with China right now. Not good, man. Not good at all, right? Then you got the federal government. The deficit is absolutely freaking out of control. The federal government borrowings binge. I mean, they're borrowing, they're in the market every day, 20, 30, 50, 60, $100 billion every day, man. $1 trillion over the past few months. Where do they expect these billions and trillions of dollars to come from, man? Right? The U.S. government and their out-of-control debt is right now a bigger threat to the bond market, U.S. financial stability, and world global finance stability than the Federal Reserve is, man. I mean, they're just a train wreck. Train wreck. Then you add in, right, tired-ass broke consumers, got no money left, living on credit cards, 70% of the economy just waiting for a sign to lay down and die, man. They're tapped out. Savings rate continues to crater. The debt rate continues to skyrocket. How is that going to end well, man? Right? Can't save a nickel. And they're certainly not going to save the economy. Now you add in the political class, the moron group up in Washington, D.C. You got one group that can't stop throwing billions of dollars at every single thing imaginable. And you got another group that can't even elect a Speaker of the House. And the House is completely dysfunctional, can't even bring a bill. Now we got about 30 days before another government threat, another closure threat. We're supposed to be the most stable government in the face of the earth. Is that what we look like? Not to me, guys. So this is a disaster of epic, epic, epic proportions on the way here, man. Now we've shown that our economy can't handle normal interest rates where they are right now. And I tell you right now, you know, a Fed funds rate not even at 5% or a little over 5% is not abnormal. What's abnormal is the way we've been living on 0% interest rates for so long. So now they've spoiled this economy where we cannot function with normal interest rates. We got to keep continually keeping rates artificially low to allow consumers to continue to borrow more and more money they're never going to pay back at high rates. And to keep this economy chugging along, it's faux, man, it's fake. Then you add in consumer debt addiction, where even in the face of outrageous credit card rates, consumers continue to pile debt on. And I don't know if it's because they're addicted to spending and debt, and you know, it gives them the vehicle to just, you know, go ahead and do whatever you want, or they're, you know, taking on debt by necessity because they don't have enough money to make ends meet. It's crazy. You look at just today. Look at this stuff that's coming out today. Jamie Dimon, pretty influential guy, coming out saying, this is, quote, the most dangerous time the world has seen in decades. He's talking wars. He's talking economic collapse. He's talking geopolitical divisions, and on and on. I mean, just the slightest little spark can set this thing off, man. Then you add in real estate in America, not as bad as China's, but pretty close. Foreclosures jumped 34% in the last year. So people buying houses they can't afford with payments they can't afford, the inevitable result, guys. Foreclosures, gigantic a number now. Not now, nothing like 2008, which is, I guess, the basis now, the measuring stick. But growing 34% in a year is a troubling sign, right? Then you add in bankruptcy surging, corporate bankruptcies over the top, about to break the 2020 pandemic record. We've already had more bankruptcies in the first 9 months of this year than we had in 2021, 2022. So corporations going under. I mean, it's just, point me to something that's going well. And then you add in, I was making my list today, you got wars, you got the federal deficit, and the amount of debt they have. You know, it took them so long to create the first trillion. The last trillion we did in months. Months. You got broke consumers, can't afford it. Spiraling personal and corporate debt and bankruptcies coming. Complete political dysfunction in our country and around the world. Outrageous prices for everything. I mean, if we weren't doing this lame-ass financing, okay, now they got 7-year car loans so they can charge $70,000 for a car now. What if they couldn't give you 7-year financing on that car? What if it could max was 2 years? What do you think would happen to prices on cars? How about houses? What if they outlawed 30-year mortgages and made 10 years the max? What would happen to real estate prices? So this whole thing is propped up on this bullshit finance where everybody's in debt forever and ever. It's just friggin' crazy, man, okay? Then you add in greedy corporations and oligarchs writing all the laws for themselves, tilting the field. They're piling it up while the middle class and the poor get poorer. Add in the dollar under threat around the world. We've politicized the dollar. Now it's not just a reserve currency anymore. Now it's actually a weapon we can use in our disputes around the world. And then finally add in election year madness coming here in January. It's already starting up with these debates. January starts the voting primary process. You know how election years are, guys. Everybody's emotional. Everything's hair trigger. So how do you see good things coming? Anyway, I apologize for being Charlie negative here. I just call it the way I see it, man. You know, when things are rosy, I'm going to probably be apologizing for being too positive and too rosy about it. I don't know. But anyway, that's it for the week, guys. Go forth, have an awesome weekend. Relax, spend some time with your family. Get away from wars and politics and finance and crazy-ass stock markets. Do what's important, man. Relax. Regenerate your health and your well-being. Spend time with people you love and you care about. And don't forget to cheer the Bills on Sunday night. We got the Giants. We need that win pretty bad. Anyway, guys, that's it for the week. We appreciate you. We will be back on Monday. Another crazy week coming, I got a feeling, because they're all friggin' crazy. Till then, guys, have a great weekend. Take care. Thanks.